Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. It's been a while since I made a video appearance. Just kind of want to give an update to all the people who follow me on my various platforms, be it on my YouTube channels or Facebook pages. Just mainly want to say that I'm relocated here in Chicago now. I live near the University of Chicago, and I'm gonna be starting school here pretty soon. On the 18th is first day of orientation, so I'm starting to get settled in. I got bookshelves built and my books kind of put away now, so they're more accessible to me, because before they were all packed up in boxes, and that was kind of a bit depressing for me because I like to have access to them all the time. And then I wanted to talk about kind of a new idea or project that I want to start doing, which is doing book reviews. And not like scholarly book reviews or necessarily academic, book reviews where you critique the ideas or the content. It's going to be a little bit different than that. So there's four main things that I kind of want to focus on. And that's going to be, first of all, if the book is a translation, which a lot of books I have are translations, I want to talk about the translation quality. Is it going to be a bilingual book? Are there excerpts of it that are going to be in the original language? Like, for instance, if it's an Islamic book, are the ahadith and ayat of Quran, in the original Arabic? Are there gross mistranslations? I found some books where the translation is way off the original word, and it's quite clear that someone who doesn't have an intimate knowledge of the English language was translating it, just kind of looked up a word in a dictionary and picked one, even though it doesn't really make sense to a native speaker. Is there only minor mistranslations where it kind of seems awkward, doesn't feel right, but you still kind of can understand it? And then if there's transliteration in the book, how good is that? Do they follow a real system or not? And then I want to talk about, research. If the book entails research, is there a good introduction to the book, or like a foreword or introduction? What are the other words they use for that? Foreword, introduction, prolegoma, I think, is another one. I might be pronouncing that wrong. And, is there like a history of this book or the author, or, the original author, if it's being translated? Or is there like an about the author section? Because I think all of that is pretty important. We want to know who's writing the book, who's translating the book, what qualifications they may or may not have, or their background, or, historical context, all that stuff I find extremely important to understanding the book as a whole. And is the book well researched? If it's a research book, did they do a good job? How good are the sources that they used? Do they have any facts that are like blatantly wrong, or been disproven a long time ago in the academic arena? How is their citation method? Do they use footnotes? Do they use like endnotes, or is it just in text citation only? Those types of things. And then I also want to look at editing. Are there going to be gross misspellings or typos, which I've found in books, even academic books? How readable is the font? in English or in other languages? You know, is it something that's easy to read or something that's just meant to be stylish? What is the vocabulary of the book? I think that's important, you know, because not everybody wants to read a bunch of academic language. And if they do like that, you know, is it in there? I prefer the highest level of vocabulary because I feel like they're going to present their ideas more clearly. Even if you have to look up every other word in a dictionary, I think you get a much better understanding of what the person's trying to say. So I personally kind of like it. How is the table of contents? Some books don't even have a table of contents. Some books put it in the front, some books put it in the back. You know, how well structured is the table of contents? I've seen some pretty bad ones out there. And, you know, how is the chapter organization? How is the book organized? You know, how does it progress into different parts? And then the next thing I really want to look at is the design of the book. You know, is the book pretty? How are the aesthetics of the book? What's the artwork? What's the cover design? You know, etc. Are there reviews or synopsis on the back cover? I like to see, you know, a synopsis on the back cover, and, you know, some quotes or like reviews are kind of nice. You know, how are the photographs or the graphics in the book? How is the page layout? I've seen some books where it's 2 columns a page, which I personally don't like at all. You know, how is the binding? Is it a good binding? Is it hardcover, soft cover? All those things, because I've seen some really low quality stuff produced that makes the book kind of a challenge because it falls apart as you're reading it and things like that. And, you know, what's the page quality like? Do you have nice glossy pages? Are they super thin and brittle? You know, is the print really, like the ink, really bad quality and on a bad paper, so it can be blotchy or messed up or faded? Because I've seen all those things in very legit expensive books, and it may be that one book is a misprint, or maybe it's something that's common throughout. For instance, I have a copy of Sahih Bukhari where that you have large chunks of faded ink throughout all 9 volumes, so that's an issue. That's a problem. And those types of things. So, you know, I plan to do reviews on different kinds of books. You know, Islamic books, some of the language books that I have, and I'll, you know, post them to different platforms, whichever I feel is probably most relevant. But I just wanted to give you guys an update and let you know kind of what I want to do in the future as far as these book reviews go. Thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum.